Okay, this problem comes from Math 120. This is 6.5, number 11, and it states the capacity of an elevator is 8 people or 1,360 pounds. The capacity will be exceeded if 8 people have weights with a mean greater than 170 pounds. Suppose the people have weights that are normally distributed with a mean of 173 pounds and a standard deviation of 34 pounds. Well, of course, like everything else I tell you, draw a picture, and we will draw a picture of this one. We know we have a mean of 173 pounds. So then that would give us 207 and 241, as well as on the left hand side 139 and 95. And the question asks, what is the probability of someone weighing above 170 pounds? So 170 pounds would be right about here, and they want to know what's the probability of exceeding 170 pounds. So that would be the right hand side. Now we all know that the right hand side is equal to 1 minus the left hand side, unless you do it on your calculator, and then of course you go from the z-score to positive infinity, which we use 999. So we got to get a z-score for the 170. So that would be 170 minus 173 over the standard deviation, which is 34. Now when you do that in your calculator, you come up with negative 0.0882, and of course the z-score is 2 digits, so 2 decimal places, so that's negative 0.09. That's our z-score that we're going to be using. You look up your handy dandy table, negative z-score. Of course you can't see this very well, but it gives you a guide to how we find it, and that would be 0.09 would be all the way to the bottom right hand corner, which is 0.4641. So the area to the left at negative 0.09 is 0.4641. Now that's not our answer, because we know that the right hand side is equal to 1 minus the left hand side. So that's going to be equal to 1 minus 0.4641, which is equal to 0.5987. I'm sorry, I looked at the wrong thing. Not 0.5987, 0.5359. And that is your answer. You have a 0.54 probability or 54% chance of picking someone that is over 170 pounds. Now, the second part of the question, and that is A. This is part A. Part B says, what is the probability? Let me read B for you. It says, find the probability that 8 randomly selected people will have a mean that is greater than 170. So again, we draw a picture. And they want to know, what's the probability of a group of 8 being more than 170? So the only thing we do here is we do the same formula we did before, only we add the square root of n on the bottom. So that would be 170 minus 173 over 34. That's what we used before. But now, and I'm going to use a different color just to add it in, now we're going to divide by the square root of 8. Because they gave us 8 people. What is the probability of 8 people? And when you do that calculation, you come up with negative 0.25. Look that up in your handy dandy z-score table. Negative 0.25, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get 0.4013. Area to the left is 0.4013. Therefore, 1 minus 0.4013 is equal to 0.5987, or basically 60%. You have a 60% chance of all 8 being over 170 pounds. Now C says, does the elevator appear to have the correct weight limit? I would say no, because there is a good chance that 8 will be over. You got a 60% chance of 8 being over, and I'm sorry, but 60%, that's a little bit too much on the elevator. If it was 20%, that would be different. Anything over 50%, I would be a little bit weary of, because you got 50% chance of the elevator going up or going down as far as a crash. So I would say 60% is a little bit much. I hope this helps.